Kia ora guys, Rita the Kiwi here, and tonight we are continuing our playthrough of the new 6.15 content. So tonight we're going to be starting Tataru's grand event endeavor. Now, according to the patch notes, there's only one quest for this at the moment for this quest line, so it shouldn't take too long. And then we're also gonna start our beast tribes as well, which is a bit late. If I was probably most efficient, I probably should have done that first, but I really wanted to just jump straight into Hildebrand ASAP, and then of course jump into the Omega stuff. So let's start it. Small business, big dreams. Hiro Murasaki, welcome, welcome. I am Medinja, assistant shopkeep and apprentice seamstress here at Taru's boutique. I doubt you remember my face, as I am merely one of many who owe you our lives, but you will always have my gratitude for saving me that day on the Iblan game. You are too kind. And while I hate to ask aught more of you, please say that you're here to assist Miss Tataru's new endeavor. Not yet, but she soon shall be. Ah, Tataru! Ah, it's the screenshot. Evil grin the screenshot. Whatever would we do without your penchant for turning up precisely when you're needed, eh? Now, time to make a long story of our solvency short. We've secured the resources to produce the new designs I develop in cooperation with guilds near and far, and insufficient quantity to meet the rising demand. We shan't rest on our laurels, however. To serve passing adventures and the occasional intrepid stallion is all well and good, but we're hardly taking the world by storm, no. Much like yourself, we must look toward new horizons. The science proved that cooperation on a star-wide scale is possible, and we would be fools not to capitalize on that to build the grandest trade network in the history of Highland, all for the greater good, of course. Ugh. Yes, this is a wonderful opportunity to bring people together. I often think back to that incredible moment when the Gallian army came to our rescue. Perhaps our efforts too will one day lead to a miracle like that which took place on Iblan Reign. I have no doubt that they shall, but we mustn't expect such alliances to form themselves. We must be proactive. Who better to woo our future partners in commerce than our current #1 customer, you? Our erstwhile comrades in arms know that when it comes to good equipment and better ideas, few have such keen eyes as our adventurer extraordinaire. Even should they hesitate at first, I'm certain you can convince them using the samples I've prepared. But of course, with your assistance, we'll have both coin and goodwill flowing in no time. Everything is falling into place. Where shall we send Tataru first? Ah, don't you worry. I have it all planned out. First, Limsa Laminza. Well, that's where I'm all. The guard has the bloody executioners working harder than ever, so he is sure to appreciate any extra supplies. Next, Gridania. The Seed Seers are a source of trusted authority and insight into the Shroud, so we're not gonna go amiss in cultivating the investment of, say, Aran Sena. I hear that he has some interest in affairs abroad, so the novelty of our samples may persuade him to our side. As for Uldar, I feel confident in pinning our hopes on Pippin. He's always been a stalwart ally, and it goes without saying that he has more than a little sway in this Sultanate. Between his involvement with the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate and the Colosseum, he's bound to find a use for quality accru. With that out of the way, Medina, would you do the honors? Never let it be said that Tataru is stingy with his samples. Now, if you can make your way to Limsa, climb aboard the Acelia. I'm certain someone will point you in the guard's direction. I have my own avenues of inquiry to attend to, but I'll check in periodically to see how your journey's coming along. Let's get to it. So I'm a door-to-door salesman now. Okay. Boom, boom. Yeah, you can go on the ship. I recognize ye. What do you want? Long as it's not about another bloody apocalypse, I don't see why not. Wait there. Wouldn't it be more important to them if it's about talk to me if it's about another bloody apocalypse? Look at view, Limsa. Well, bugger me. Thought we'd seen the last of you for a while. What brings you aboard? Brew seems busy. No rest for the wicked and all. We're getting on shipping requests that we've hardly put down anchor since old Italian. You know, there was a time when I thought pirating was the whole world. That being the best of them all meant something. Ishbard made me see how small my world was compared to the real one. Standing next to the star's finest, I started to wonder what I had to brag about. Then the bloody executioners went and did me proud by bringing in a bigger goddamn haul of adamite than anyone else in the realm. Between that and the new metalworks we've got going, the kobolds and the Shahagin looking to export their own wares, it seemed like the right time for the executioners to change our sails, so to speak. Which is all to say that if you've got wares for promoting, I'd be happy to show them off across the realm and beyond. Masterworks from Taru's boutique, guaranteed by the warrior of lighter self. Almost seems like a waste to wear them. Folk will be lining up the docks for these. Literally seen as old Charlians only accessible by sea. Now, if we got ourselves an exclusive shipping contract. I see the course clear as day. Now we just need Emelian on board. Wait. He's right useless when there's work to be done, but talk's another matter. And he still owes me one for keeping his sorry ass out of trouble. So I'll have him put me in touch with a few swabby sales types on the continent. Tell Tataru I look forward to setting sail on this new tide of hers. May the winds of change guide us. Funny that buds now. Hero, it's me. How goes our little venture thus far? Oh ho, Sigcard's eyeing the shipping routes, is he? All according to plan. But our work has only just begun. I'll keep after my own contacts while you work on our run. I hear he's not often in the city, but I don't doubt that Mother Meone can sniff him out. Boom, boom, boom. Why, if it isn't Tataru, struck with a sudden craving for eel pie, were you? Or is it information you fancy? Oh yes, word of our seed seers' comings and goings never fails to reach my ears. I'm told that ever since he returned from his foray to Ilsbard, he's been roaming back and forth between our neighboring tribes' settlements and the Lotus Stand. You'll miss him if you make for one or the other, like as not, but just waylay him at Blue Badger Gate. curious. Isn't that sweet? Talking with the kid. Great hero. Might I ask why you're loitering at the gates, Tataru? And with such an enormous sack? I admit you've piqued my interest. To integrate the tradition and ingenuity of guilds throughout Eorza in such a fashion is no small feat. Oh, you can actually see his eyes. Crazy. As it happens, I'm of the mind to do something similar myself, assuming I secure the other Seedseer's approval. We got a really good look at his eyes. Crazy. You are doubtless aware that historically Gridania has placed a piece of the Twelvewood and our covenant with the elementals above all else, often to the detriment of our relationship with other peoples. Yet, much as we are one with the Shroud, we are not also part of the Star Entire. Our ventures into Galameld made plain the strength of the world united. This attire you carry demonstrates much the same truth. But perhaps you assumed you would need to talk me round to the idea? If so, I apologize for the disappointment. If 'tis any comfort, I'm nearly as surprised myself. No longer am I content to hear the words of the elementals alone. I wish to know the voices of men, though our time in Galameld has shown me that my ability to listen is average at best. These horns may mark me as gifted in the Twelvewood, but beyond they inspire neither fear nor awe. I have been mistaken several times for a Zael, and may as well be one, for all the difference my status as Seedseer makes to those who want for succor. Yet 'twas this self-same insignificance that allowed me for the first time in my life truly feel part of a greater whole. I am but one life among myriads upon the star. I dare say I should behave accordingly. Did his outfit change with that? I can't actually tell. I feel like they did slightly, but I don't. I should pay more attention to the next person. With luck, my elder sister shall agree. Tell Mistress Tataru that her gift is accepted with gratitude, and she ought to hear from us soon. Guess who? Did you speak with Aran yet? That sounds promising. I'm beginning to understand what makes our Seedseer friend tick. But we can discuss that later. You need to catch Pepin ere his duties take him from Uldar once more. I believe he spends much of his time at the Colosseum, so perhaps you should pay a visit to the Gold Court. I'll be waiting for your full report at the boutique. Gold saucer. Crackers flying here. I see Marshal Tarupin is currently engaged in another meeting, but I shall tell him that Teru awaits his... Ugh. Suddenly all the gold saucer stuff is gone. My apologies for keeping you waiting. I did not expect you here this evening. Tataru is offering quality material, is she? I can hardly say no to that. It fits almost too perfectly with my plans for the flames. I have long striven for mastery of the blade. I required the trials of Isbard, however, to truly see the Zona for what it is. The fire that warms the coldest night. The spark that ignites a blaze of hope. And most of all, an unbreakable testament to Father's faith in me. More ally than tool, it is a treasure beyond price. Does every soldier of the immortal flames not deserve allies such as this? Arms and armor to remind them of what they fight to protect, to help them stand when they might otherwise fall? Indeed, works made possible only through the ingenuity and dedication of allies across the star may be just the sort of inspiring armaments we need. I anticipate that I will be sending along an order for custom equipment ere long. In the meantime, would you mind if I use these samples for a few trials here at the Colosseum? My thanks. We shall put them to use immediately. This is just a... That's just a quest of going around. Just more remembrance of all the people who helped us. Us helping out again. As a child of Uldar, however, naught strikes fear into my heart like the prospect of receiving valuable goods for free. I must insist you accept something in return. I had been meaning to gift that necklace to Tataru. Its poor condition aside, she might rather have it than not. I have spoken with Tataru at some length about our past, you understand. In many ways, we are quite similar. As you may recall, her family was bankrupt when she was very young, a consequence of her father's business failing. They were forced to put all their wealth toward paying off his debts, and then some. One asset they reluctantly parted with was a necklace entrusted by her mother, for which Tataru has long searched to no avail. Strangely enough, I recently discovered jewelry of the very same description amidst a store of neglected. God, I'm just fumbling over my words. Amidst a store of neglected Colosseum prizes. Assuming it is the same piece, I should like to see it returned to her. It is significantly worse off for having changed hands, though, and only the sapphire centerpiece remains unlost and undamaged. You may appreciate the sentiment nevertheless, but it's difficult to say. What do you think? Memories old. True enough. Though if it's to be a gift, I would prefer to at least clean it up a bit. I can do that. I'm a master craftsman. I'm an omnicrafter. In that case, I considered asking the Goldsmiths Guild, but you ought to be able to turn the necklace into a piece Tataru would wear, if not precisely what she remembers. I imagine you will have the opportunity to pick up gems and other suitable materials on your travels. From there, it is merely a matter of unifying the pieces. Are you willing? Yep. Then I'll have the sapphire removed from its setting and sent to the boutique with all haste. I doubt even Tataru will dare open a private package addressed to you. Best of luck in finding the matching materials. And in your mercantile endeavors, of course, may the traders guide you to fortune there. Interesting. So I guess the future quests that they're going to be adding will be us going around and getting more of the jewellery for it, for the gems. That's cool. You've returned, with your bag all the lighter for having given away our samples, I hope. Speaking of which, a parcel from one Pippin Arabin arrived not bells ago, addressed to you. Could it be that our newfound partnerships are already bearing fruit? The mother's necklace? Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Please allow me to assist. I swear I won't breathe a word of this to Mistress Tataru. Wonder what parts you need. Do you know what style, Mistress Tataru? If this necklace is to be a keepsake, why not focus on that? Oh. Apologies. I could not help but overhear. It's quite alright, but do please keep your voice down. What was it you were saying? It simply occurred to me that since you were gifted the sapphire so readily, our other partners in this endeavor may wish to offer up something for Miss Tataru as well. With such gifts, you could turn the necklace into a memento of not just her past and its trials, but her present successes as well. That's perfect! If our plans for the boutique proceed apace, we should soon have more than enough tokens from friends from across the seas. What do you think, Teru? That's exactly what I was saying before. Well. Were you waiting for little old me? Let's just Tataru. We were just discussing the successful delivery of the samples. Yes. Good to hear. How fares, dear Pippin? I knew he would come through. Though I admit that I wasn't expecting to outfit the whole host of immortal flames quite so soon. I suppose it goes to show that even the most hardened warrior can always learn a thing or two. And Sigurd and Alran have changed as well, if your tales are any indication. I imagine their personal growth bodes well for that of our network. Thank you for checking up on them. We must sort through our current commissions before deciding who to approach next, but I know I can count on you to be ready when we are. Yay! Now we just need to wait for the next patches for continued quests of these. But now we will go to Davnir to do the quests for the new tribal quests, which I had started. Apparently you need Steep Child and What's a Parent, which I have already done Steep Child. We're going to do What's in a Parent. Oh, excuse me. Do you need something? Wait, you're her, the very woman who saved Mervan's child. Tataru, was it? I knew it. I'm Yizan, an alchemist of the great work. I am but one of few who are looking after the child as she makes her recovery. Mervan and Kurstaf were dear friends of mine. Thank you for everything you've done for their daughter. The condition is on the mend. I'm sure you'll be glad to hear. We've been taking turns checking in on her. The last thing she needs is a gaggle of adults fussing over her day and night. That being said, when she is healed fully, there is the question of who will be in charge of her care. For the love I bore for her parents, I would gladly take her in as my own, but that would mean raising her away from her home. Moreover, I am yet to wed. My duties consume me so much of my time, I can scarce focus on my own care, let alone that of a growing child. I doubt my ability to give her the love she deserves, love equal to that her parents gave her. She deserves better than that, so I've considered finding someone more suitable. It's the least I can do, and truth be told, perhaps the best option. Even so, though I was born here, much of my life was spent at the great work. I'm afraid I haven't the foggiest idea of who to ask, even if I had the time to do so. You, however, seem to be well loved among the people here. Could you ask around in my stead? It would be a much more effective use of my time to prepare medicine for the wounded and sick. I apologize for imposing such an enormous task upon you, but I would trust no one else with it. When you're finished, come to my hut to the south of the settlement, and we can discuss any potential parental candidates. Don't worry, I'm used to people telling me to go around and talk to other people. If you ask me, Passarine is the most motherly among us. She has a child of her own not too long ago, so I reckon there's no one better to be a wet nurse. That being said, times have been troubled for us all. It might be unseemly to ask her to take on such a burden unless she was willing. Who do I think is most suited to care for the child? Yi Zan is the obvious choice. Dependable, loyal, dutiful, every quality you would desire in a parent. I know he does become so absorbed in his research, but that devotion has made him such a peerless alchemist. Who better is there to look after someone so sickly as her? The child, eh? None dote over her quite like Yi Zan, but I understand alchemy isn't a merciful trade for a parent. Still, there's no one else that comes to mind when I consider the question. I would volunteer to take her in myself, but with the chaos of recent events, it's difficult enough to see that me and mine are fed and clothed. I know I'm not the only one facing such hardship either. Welcome to my humble workshop, Tataru. I'm almost too nervous to ask, but what did the others say? But who said you? Yeah, someone nominated me. Well, that's neither here nor there. You said Passarine's name was mentioned? She was a good friend to Mervan, it's true, but there are other factors at play that make me reticent to ask her. Simply put, I'd rather not burden her further if it can be avoided. That being said, we don't exactly have the luxury of choice, all things considered. I suppose I would be remiss if I didn't at least speak with her. I owe the child that much. Would you accompany me, Tataru? A supportive presence by my side would help me find the right words. Passarine should be nearby, doubtless watching over her own child. I must deliver this medicine before speaking with her, so please go on ahead. Oh, look at the little baby. Look at the little baby. That baby doesn't. Not sure. Maybe his face was a bit weird. Be poorly textured. Yi Zan, it's so good to see you. And who is this with you? Passarine, meet Tataru. She's the hero who saved Mervan and Quirsaf's daughter. Oh, what a pleasant surprise. Thank you for your bravery. I've heard tell of the trouble she's been through since. I hope you are able to see her return to health soon. It has been trying, to be sure, but we must look forward to the day she is hale. Everyone is doing their utmost to make it so. The question remains as to where she would go from there, however. I've considered taking her into my home, but I fear my qualifications as a parent are somewhat lacking. I know you have been a dear friend to Mervan, and as such, only thought it would meet to ask if you're willing to take care for her daughter. If you are, I will do everything in my power to see that she is given into your care. I'm flattered. Mervan was as family to me, and I view her child as my own. I would do anything to see her raised into as brave a woman as her mother. However, I cannot care for her. I'm not worthy to care for her. Worthy? What does that? Ah, my apologies. I understand it was a sudden request, and no small one besides. Please forgive my imposition. I'll be in the village for some time yet, should you require treatment for You and yours, please seek me out. I will. Thank you, Yizan. I would speak with you further, Teru. Let's return to my dwelling. I'm sorry. Okay. I wasn't too forceful, was I? I simply asked her if she was willing. I didn't mean to make her feel obligated to agree. I found her words somewhat mystifying. Not worthy? What could that mean? I'm usually not one to pry, but this worries me, considering I consider Paraserine a friend, and I am loath to leave her to her troubles. And there's still the matter of the child. I shall have to think on what to do from here. I may need your help again soon, Teru. I hope you are willing. That's not the quest that needed for it. Hold up. Maybe it is. Take a look at the notes. A budding adventure become available after progressing through the quest chains, beginning with Steep Child and Parent. I think the Batanga along the way is more of the steep child one, which okay. So I think there's a lot more to do than I realized. Now we continue curing what ails. Well then, if you're willing, I have a task that requires immediate attention. It's simple, but essential. Namely the gathering of herbs. The child is in a vulnerable state, and I would fortify her against further sickness. There are also more wounded in this village than I anticipated, and my stores have begun running low. It would be best to replenish them while time affords us an opportunity. Can I count on you to help me? Splendid! I require several of the reddish soma herbs which grow among the shrubbery to the northeast. With both of us working in tandem, I wager we should have enough gathered before the next spell. Alright, let's go. Strawberry. Oh. Might have to fight legitly here. I saw the creatures emerge from the bush, but you felled them before I had a chance to be frightened. I'm glad you survived unscathed. That had been me. Ugh. Any road. Did you manage to find the Soma? There's the Soma. Excellent work, excellent work. My search came up fruitless. It appears we're not the only ones seeking this particular herb. It shouldn't come as a surprise, I suppose. This area is well known for the medicinal plants grow here. My supplies run low once more. Perhaps I should ask the villagers if they have any to spare. For now, I believe we've found all we can. Let's return to Pakistan. As I suspected, we weren't the only ones searching the jungle. I returned to my quarters to find a bag positively stuffed to the brim with herbs, including Soma in fact. I asked a nearby colleague who delivered this bounty, and they told me it was one of the Akasodara stewards. I believe I know who it is. Her name is Sula, a shy one, but obviously kind of heart. I spied her eavesdropping during our conversation with Paris Sareen, poorly I might add. I apologize for asking more of you at the end of a trying day, but would you speak with her for me? Offer our thanks for the herbs, and perhaps find out if she knows anything of Pasareen's troubles. For my part, I'll begin synthesizing the medicine at once. Dula should be somewhere nearby. I pray you have a productive conversation. Oh, you are, who are you? Do you require something from me? The herbs? I came upon them while hunting. Nothing more. I have heard that medicine made from them is effective in treating the ailments of young children. It seemed only meet that I should do my part, as it were. Oh, that? Well, very well. I believe I can shed light on the root of Serene's. That is what you wish to hear, yes? Yizan asked you to speak with me, just as he asked you to gather his herbs. Well then. Perhaps it is best for us to all speak together. Go to him and allow me some time to gather my thoughts. I shall approach you with. Cool. You're just in time. I've only just finished synthesizing the medicine. So did Sula tell you anything of interest? Well, I suppose I can hear it straight from her. I appreciate that you felt it fit to include. Firstly, I owe you an apology. I was sneaking about out of concern for Passerine. I know what it is that weighs on her mind, you see. That is what you want to know, yes? The story is troubling to hear, even more troubling to relate. Before I tell it, you must promise me that you will be her strength in the days to come. Of course, anything to help a friend. Daza, her beloved husband, was killed. When the veil of chaos descended upon the world, he fled into the jungle and transformed into one of those terrible beasts. He returned here a monster, where my sister Kappa met his wrath. Neither of them survived the ensuing struggle. I was there as well, despite his monstrous form. I knew it was Daza. I froze in terror, while Chopper stood undaunted. She fought alone for my cowardice. It was my fault I knew this, and yet I laid the blame on past Serene's shoulders. I lashed out at her, cursing her for her husband's cowardice. When we both should have confronted the other in mourning, I turned my back on her. I left her to bear the burden of not one, but 2 deaths. It is only natural that she should be hesitant to look after another, given that. I was a fool to condemn Serene when it was my duty to protect the people here. I have wanted nothing more than to apologize since the day, but I fear my words were too cruel to forgive. I cannot stand to meet her gaze. Heavy. It was a difficult time for everyone. We often lose ourselves in moments of crisis. But so long as we find our way back, we are worthy of forgiveness. Chapa would agree, I'm sure. She wouldn't blame you for what happened, nor would she want you to blame yourself. Serene doubtless feels the same. You are right. I must apologize to her. That is the only course. Peru, was it? I will speak with Serene, but I require some time to muster my courage. Soon. I promise. Sins we bear. Thank you for lending an ear to my troubles, Tataru. If you're willing, there's a place I would like to travel to. Wish for you to accompany me. Administering my duties may help calm my nerves. To that end, I mean to inspect the temple's plans of care. After we have finished, I hope to find the courage to once again pass Serene in. With all the monsters about, most of my attention of late has been focused on finding and protecting those who have fled. With the arrival of the Radiant Host, however, there's finally a time to attend to this long neglected duty. I too must ask that you go with Sula, knowing that their holy places are being cared for, may set these people's hearts at ease, even an ounce of comfort is precious in these trying times. Much appreciated. Would that I could join you, but I'm afraid an alchemist's tools are of little use against fangs and claws. That doesn't mean I'll stand idly by, however. I'll remain here and continue making medicine for the children. My hands may be clumsy with sword and shield, but there are few more adroit with mortar and pestle. We are blessed indeed to have a pair such as you looking after us. Well then, let us begin the patrol. Our first destination shall be Purusa, to the southeast. Why did I say southwest? It is a bit of a trek, so make the proper arrangements before departing. Proper arrangements. Mount. Done. It's been some time since I have set foot in these hollowed grounds. In times bygone, there were even more such places in this region, but many were moved to Vanaspati. From one of the divinities worshipped here were these words passed down, that we might send off the of departed with its wisdom. Just as life leads to death, so too does death lead to life. Do not shed tears for the departed, for they have but set foot upon a new journey. Be not forlorn that your paths have diverged, but look forward with the joy to the day that they might cross again. For as long as I can remember, I followed in my sister's footsteps. In her absence, I have felt lost. Whenever I think to forge a path of my own making, my legs become heavy and my heart becomes anxious. Want to move forward with courage. Thank you, Tataru. Yizan has a generous soul, and to have your wisdom to buoy me is more than I deserve. Would that I could open my heart to Passerine in such a way. This part of the temple appears to be well kept. Let us check the other side, shall we? Seems alright to me as well over here. This area is in ghastly shape, is it? Scratches here and cracks there. Will you help me investigate further? We will cover more ground searching separately. I shall search around this area. I trust you to do your due diligence. I thought it looked fine. I thought it looked the same as the other side. So, yikes. Not hoping for any good inspection from me. This damaged stone doesn't look damaged to me. The stones here are cracked and require some repair. Big yikes. Oh, leave me alone. Again, doesn't look too damaged. The stones of the foundation appear to be unstable. However, filling in the area where the ground has fallen away should remedy. Jeez, I know nothing about masonry. Again, this pillar looks alright. Gonna tell me that this is the worst condition pillar has ever been in, and still standing. The stones here are crumbling and fragments of them litter the ground. It would be best to replace them. Yikes. Have you finished? Was it as bad as it looks? It looks pretty good. Apparently it's not. I see. This may have been the site of a battle or some other horrible conflict. I must do what I can to see it repaired. Though this temple may be remote, the devout do come here on occasion to offer their prayers. Thank you for helping me today. This has helped me forget the crisis that plagued us and remind me of simpler times, when we would look after the roads and protect the pilgrims on their journeys. I ever look forward to setting out on patrol with my sister by my side, but I must find a way to manage without her. Set foot upon my own path. My first step must be to apologize to Passerine, even if she may refuse it. No more distractions. That being said, you were by my side, it may be all the easier for me to find the right words. Let's go. Dun 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 dun. Hello, Tataru and Zula. I take it your patrol was fruitful? I've just administrated a soothing salve to Passerine's child. She's sleeping soundly now, so us speaking should not wake her. Passerine, I'm sorry. I should not have said all those horrible things before. I was not in my right mind. It was my fault my sister was killed. I stood frozen in fear when Dazar attacked. Yet, when it was all over, I placed the blame on you. I was a fool. No, Shula, you were right. It was I who couldn't ease my troubles. It was my fault he succumbed to the despair that gnawed at his heart. We've all lost something during this tragedy, so no one's at fault. Fate. Science fiction. There is reason to your answer, of course, but forgiveness of the self is no simple matter. I am overjoyed to speak with you again, Sula. However, I am afraid I need more time to come to terms with everything that has occurred. Oh, would that I knew how much Passerine was suffering. I could have been there to comfort her. Perhaps there's something I can do now, something to set her on the right path. While looking at these rewards, it seems like this is the end of it. Quest. It is plain that Passerine is not yet ready to forgive herself, but I am at a loss as to what we should do. Do we leave her be, or is there some way we can help? I, for one, will not stand idly by while she suffers alone. Perhaps if she had something to remind her of her beloved, she would more easily accept his loss. Passerine never did have the chance to say her farewells. Peru, I'm afraid I must ask for your aid once more. Will I have it? It appears I shall be in your debt again, but it is well worth it. During the chaos, most of us fled northwest to the bridge. Let us retrace those steps, and we may find something that belonged to Dazar. Pick up anything that catches your eye. We can share what we found once we reach the bridge. Thank you for all you've done for Sula thus far, Tataru. Your spirits are already much improved for your efforts. Let's hope that we can affect the same change in Passerine. Daza did enjoy his jewelry and bowls, though it isn't inconceivable that he may have dropped something as he fled. If you should spy anything glittering in the bush, it couldn't hurt to pick it up. It's just a rock. A glittering rock. other glittering. Hey, found this. How goes the search? I found this necklace among the underbrush. One of Dazar's favorites, but it seems to be missing the jewel that made it shine so brilliantly. Ah, what's that in your hand? The rock. Why, this is it, the very jewel I spoke of. We make an excellent team, eh? However, we cannot give this to Passerine as it is. We must repair it first. Doubtless, Izan will be able to lend his expertise in that respect. Let us return to the village and speak with him. Zula has told me all about your findings. Quite excitably, in fact. She's gone to find materials so she can polish the necklace to a mirror sheen. As for the jewel, I believe I can take it off your hands for the time being. This repair should prove simple enough. Adhesive is one of the most elementary recipes. Once the necklace is in presentable shape, I'll bring Sula to present Passerine. Could you go ahead and tell her to wait for us? We take longer than expected. I trust you can keep her enraptured with one of your grand tales. Whoa. Wait, where's your baby? You have something for me? I don't recall asking anything of you. Passerine, I would like you to have this, please. This is Dazar's necklace. Oh, he was so proud the day he brought this. How in the world did you find it? I had naught but memories to remind me of him. But the sight of this makes me feel that he isn't so far away after all. There's nothing I can do to change the past, but I can work to help give us both a brighter future. This was the least I could do. I could not have done it without the help of these two. Thank you for this gift, truly, and for your wise words. I see now that you're right. We mustn't let tragedies of yesterday keep us rooted in place. Or it takes a single step forward. But you must want to take it. Sometimes we must stop. Well said, well said. Might I add that wounds heal more quickly when a salve is applied to them. When we ignore the pain they cause, they rot. We must take action to see them healed, and rest when we are tired. Only when our energy returns can we move forward carefully, one step at a time. Yes, one step at a time. Yazan, if it isn't too much trouble, could I help care for the child? Whoa, 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 that's a lot of steps. That's not one, that's a giant leap. The scars of recent tragedy are yet too fresh for me to take care of her entirely by myself. But even so, that doesn't mean I cannot assist in some small way. Okay, okay. They're smaller steps. That's smaller steps. I have my own child to look over, of course, but still, if you were to take the child under your wing, I would happily assist you whenever you needed me. For the time being, I could be her wet nurse. Any medicine she requires would be your responsibility, I suppose. Together we can see that she emerges from her affliction as pale as a newborn babe. That's a splendid idea, I must admit. I could hardly think of a better arrangement myself. I shall hunt and bring food for the child, that she might grow to be strong like her father and mother. That is what Chapa would do. And one step at a time, I shall make her proud. The emptiness I feel it does us loss will take some time to fill, but I believe in time I will heal. You would want me to heal. Allow me to thank you once again for all you have done. We owe you more than we can repay. Now I would like to see the child for myself. I'm not one for the subtleties of the conversation, but I'd say that went as well as could be expected, wouldn't you? Now, come back to my workshop. There's something I would like to give you. Truth be told, I had resolved to raise a child myself, but the prospect of having a helping hand is comforting indeed. I suppose the true work starts from here, eh? I'm glad to finally have good news to share with Querseth and Mervan. I've been so occupied with treating the sick and injured that I've had little time to think of the departed. My friends really are gone, but I can still honor their memory. If anything has become clear from recent events, it is that the people of this settlement must speak with one another about their troubles. The solitary thoughts so quickly turn dark. I'm more than capable of treating the wounds we can see, but it takes a community to heal those that are hidden. I admit the latter prospect may take some time for me to become accustomed. Don't be so hard, your prison puts others at ease. You'll find a way as an alchemist, a friend, and a father. With that, there were more than one of me, eh? Luckily, I know more than a few concoctions that will give me vigor of several men. Ooh, okay. I only need have the energy to brew them. Regardless, I apologize for dragging you along all this time, even though I doubt we would have arrived at such an amicable conclusion without you, so I retract my apology. Well then, it'll soon be my turn to care for the child. Although her parents are no longer with us, I must do my utmost to raise their daughter in a way that would meet with their approval. I owe my friends that much. Take the silver piece. And with that, that side's done. Now we need to finish the steep child side, which I've done the first quest for. I remember really enjoying it, but never continued. If it's the one I think it is, it's the one with the yeah, the from yeah, all from the who's afraid of them because their race live in fear of the race of different people in the steep Matanga along the way. Ready to tackle another job then? This one was registered by a local fisherman, asking for help with marauding monsters. Ordinarily, the Radiant Host keeps the worst of the wildlife in check, but these days there just hasn't been enough blades to spare. You'll want to speak with the fisherman himself for details. I couldn't read the scroll he left for a name. He's in a Casadora and should be found fishing the waters from the western shore. Wait, another Matanga? Tataru, you could always use more coin, yes? Because I could certainly benefit from your wise and experienced company. A fine pair of hunters we shall make. Come, let us speak with this Casadora fisherman. I must overcome this. Come to take care of the monsters, have you? About time. We're fine when we're on the water, of course, but even a fisher needs to walk on land every now and then, and the trails grow more perilous by the day. I've managed to sneak through without a scratch so far, but my friends of mine haven't been so fortunate. Talk to the others around here, they'll tell you. I might need your help with that too. Speaking with Sadara is still challenging for me. Should we do this together then? Yes, fine, good idea. Oh, you should be able to speak with this fisherman, fine. You want to hear about monsters? I saw 3 big brutes on my way from Akayali to Yedelamad. Never seen the like around these parts before. Why are you still scared? This guy's of your kind. This one's just a hewer. You want a story? When I left Akeali the other day, I almost walked straight into a fiend with a tongue as long as my arm. Barely escaped being gobbled up on the spot. Okay, I understand your fearful composer with this one. Attacked by the wildlife? Oh yes, while I was hauling a catch back to town. Dropped the lot and fled for my life. The roads used to be safe enough, but now... I believe we have heard enough there. So do you understand now why we had to send for help? I understand that you have a problem with long-tongued brutes terrorizing your roads. Those creatures are what we call Pisaka. Without the army sending out regular patrols, it seems the inland monsters have begun expanding their territories. They've forgotten their fear of us, and that's when people start dying. I need you to remind them. Once you've found and slain these overly bold Pisaka, I ask that you bring me one of their carcass. There's something I've been curious about. Very well, let us make this a contest, shall we? The first to topple a Pisaka is the victor. Never seen anyone so eager to throw herself headlong into a Pisaka's jaws. Shouldn't you be chasing after her? Ah, first kill is mine. Grandmother always said the hunter should be swift, like a diving yawl. Would you mind tracking down the other two? Once they saw what I did to their friend, they fled to the northwest. I can haul this lump back to the beach while you finish the hunt. You'd be alone with an Akasa. But pah! My fear of Antanga has began to ebb somewhat. Now go before some other poor soul crosses it with those monsters. Oh. It's a hostile presence. Ah, there you are. Your friend is stronger than she looks. We had to load the carcass onto a boat to carry it away. What of the Pisaka's packmates? Did you find them? Both slain? Then that is good. Of course, she slew them. Songs of Teru's deeds are sung across the steep. My aching arms, would you like to know why you wanted... My aching arms would like to know why you wanted the remains though. Why else? To make use of its parts. The scales can be spun into silver, and the meat will fill our pots. The bones and teeth we can craft into hooks and other tools. We kill nothing for the sake of killing, even murderous monsters. The 2 bodies you left behind will serve as a warning to others of their kind. If it keeps them away, then no more blood need to be shed. It seems our tribe shares similar customs when it comes to using every part of the kill. As grandmother always said, be not wasteful of the lives you take to sustain your own. You're so very different from your kin, the Gasarura. Oh ho, so that's why you've been avoiding my gaze. If your only experience with Matanga has been our brutal cousins, then you'll find that Akasadora an agreeable lot by comparison. Might even make a few friends, eh? Here's your payment, and well earned, I'd say. Another job finished. We should report to Kankana that she might strike it from her list. Let me know when you are done basking in the success of our hunt, and we can return to Yidamail. Oh, this looks like the end of it. Ready then? I've been counting the contents of my coin purse. I have enough to buy passage on a ship. But as for food and other supplies, well, I would feel more comfortable with the pay from one more job weighing down my belt. You can see me through just one more, yes? At the very least, let us make our report to Kankana and ask what else she has on offer. Come, show me how fleet of foot you are, champion. Ba, 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 ba. Hiru, safely back from your work on the shore, I see. But where is Olga? My coin purse. Some slippery son of a doe snatched it from me. Brazen as you please. I lost sight of him in the market along with all my worldly wealth. How am I to pay for lodgings or food? Already my belly cries in protest. Oh, you poor thing. And after all the good work you've done for us, you will stay with me tonight, I insist. You would take me in? Mm-hmm. I saw that. You looked me right in the eye. Finally warming up to us Akasadara, are you? I can barely see you through the tears, but yes, maybe now I can stand to be in the same room as a Matanga. Some of them anyway. I'm glad to hear it. Here, I'll lend you a few coins as well. We can't have you running around without gil to your name. Oh, so kind. Thank you. In fact, why don't we head to my house now? We can fill that complaining belly of yours. You're more than welcome to join us, Teru. He's really changed in just a couple of quests. I only did the first one. I was completely frightened. Is it a house? Okay. Oh, Teru, something terrible has happened. What? I've been robbed. We saw a boy jumping out of the window as we approached. When I looked inside, all my belongings had been turned inside out. Olga set off in pursuit of the thief, but hasn't returned. Do you think you could catch up with her and see if everything's alright? I'll lock up here, and you can meet me back at my offices when you've found her. Dang, I lost him again. I swear it has to be it was that same human boy who made off with my coin purse. His size, his clothing, it all matches. I was willing to cut my losses and earn some more gil, but this insult to my host, it will not stand. Grandmother always said to repay one's favors, and by the Dusk Mother, I mean to do just that. Will you help me find justice for Kankana? Then we start by asking around for more information. I have a feeling we are not the only ones who have fallen afoul of this thieving urchin. The swifter we act, the better our chances, yes? I say we split up, gather what clues we can, then meet back at Kankana's offices. This is secondhand information, mind you, But I hear the thief you're looking for is barely more than a child. Sad, isn't it? How terrible things have become that a young boy is forced into a life of crime just to survive. We already knew that. The second-hand information directly from E. The recent arrests of pickpocketing? Oh yes, I've heard several stories. Say it's likely the work of the same criminal. Okay. Well, nothing helpful. There was another robbery? I wonder if it's the same boy I found in my house the other day. He yelled that he was sorry, and when I saw the desperation on his face, I didn't have the heart to chase after him. We could have caught him early. You. Well, champion, what have we discovered? So our tale was a familiar one, and what I heard from the local children was even more disturbing. They tell me a man, a stranger, approached them with the promise of work and easy coin. I have no proof this offer is connected to with recent robberies, but it does seem suspicious. And if this stranger is truly recruiting young ones to steal for him, then he is the one I would punish for these crimes. We just need to find him first. Whereas that hand closing its gates left many struggling to make a living. Oh yeah, this is set before the end of Endwalker. And the appearance of that ghastly tower sparked a chain of events that still has the radiant hose spread too thin on too many fronts. Under the circumstances, a rise in crime is to be expected. We are fortunate then to have the two of you here to act on behalf of our lawkeepers. So please accept this as payment. We cannot expect you to work on an empty stomach. A new hunt begins. Come, we must track down the one behind all this. But we're still not sure if the stranger is actually involved in the robberies, let alone where to start looking for him. There's a simple way to find out. We lure our boy thief into stealing from me again. What if what we suspect is true, and he will likely take any ill-gotten gains directly to his patron. Ugh. So I will play the part of an unguarded traveler, flaunting a heavy purse or some such. Tataru, you keep watch for the little pickpocket and be ready to follow him when he makes his move. Should he lead you to some shadowy figure, then I want you to herd them both to the west. I will circle around and be lying in wait to spring an ambush. That's really quite clever, Ugo. I'm impressed. Grandmother always said, if you want to catch the big fish, don't spare the bait. The same idea applies to slippery criminals. Right then, let us take our places in town square and lay the trap for our quarry. I will try to make the lure something obvious, so you can see it being stolen from afar. On a stakeout. Hey, I'm swiftly now into position, so I'm not ruining the plan by just going here. been obviously talking to you. Waiting. Alright. A nice sword. Funny if I'm the one that's in wrong. Wow, that sleight of hand. It's a shame that like hide doesn't work. Like I said. Oh, you're a proper little scoundrel, aren't you? Nice work. I'll fence the rest of the goods, and then you'll get your cut. God damn it, Raskasuni. I told you to check for tails. You want your family to learn of our arrangement? Now run. Robert said fled westward. Chase after them. My apologies, Teru. I intended to circle around as planned, but when I heard how he yelled at the child, my rage could not be contained. Grandmother always said those who prey on the weak are undeserving of mercy, so I beat him senseless. Fool of Matanga. When he awakens, he'll find himself in the custody of the Radiant Host. Miss, I'm sorry you got hurt because of me. I'm sorry for taking your belongings. Apology accepted, young one. It is a brave thing to admit when you are wrong. Help me explain the situation to your lawkeepers, and we can steer you back onto the right path. If you say so, miss. I will cut this refuse to the nearest guardhouse. Pray inform Kankana of our success. Yeah. Oh, cool. Is everything alright? Teru told me. Teru told me what happened. All is well. They began interrogating the man before I left, and he was blubbering about where he stashed stolen goods. The soldiers planned to recover the cache and return the items to their rightful owners. Praise to be the sisters. There were certain personal articles, things very dear to me, that I had thought lost forever. Oh, I should also mention Rakashi, our boy thief. It seems his parents were out of work and begging for scraps. His were crimes of necessity. After seeing the considerable remorse he showed for his actions, I decided to let him keep the coin he took from me, as well as my share of the reward from the Radiant Host. As Grandma always said, children are our greatest treasure of all. I can hardly let him and his family starve now, can I? How will you pay for passage now? I can earn it back again easily enough, and since I have tamed my fear of the Akasadara, there's no need to rush. I will take my time and explore all the wonders this island has to offer. Thank you, Teru, for staying at my side this long, but I think I can continue alone. Speaking of which, Kankana, have you any new tasks available? Ah, my dear old girl, I have the perfect job for you. I actually have business with the employer myself, so we can head off together if you like. There you go, Teru. I hadn't forgotten your half of the reward. May your adventures be many and your hunts successful. Dun, 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 dun. A budding adventure. There it is. We can finally start the quest for the tribal quest. Izan. Oh. Ah, Teru, just the woman I was hoping to see. Now that I've had the opportunity to speak with more of the people here, I realize their plight is even more dire than I had imagined. The recent crisis has caused the flow of supplies to grind to a halt, and the people can scarcely meet their daily needs. This would be the case even without the influx of refugees. One way we might alleviate this is to requisition shipment from Yerdamad, but the process takes precious time. I fear that many would starve before we see a single sack of grain. All of this is exacerbated by the lack of able-bodied fighters. The wounded are many, and there are a few who have the strength and skill to guard us from the beasts lurking in the forest. The Radiant Host would give their lives to protect us, and have, but every day more of them are injured. Bravery alone is only worth so much in the face of overwhelming numbers. While I am much appreciative of your help so far, I'm not so naive as to think you will remain here indefinitely. Had we another of your skill to aid us, we might at least stand a chance to weather the worst of the storm. However, my time at the great work was spent spent largely in solitude, and the people of this village know of little beyond its walls. But you have been to the furthest reaches back, yes? Do you know of anyone else who might lend their stout arm to these humble folk? Yes, I do, my good pal from the steep. I know of such an adventure as fierce as I, if not more so. Ah, I knew I could count on your wide web of storied personages. Ulga and Ulga and Kankana, you say? I believe we may be able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone with that pair. Unfortunately, my hands are full meeting the medical needs of the village. Seeing as you're already acquainted with these fellows, could you appeal to them on our behalf? Apologies for once again putting so much on your shoulders, but it is for the good of one and all. Can I count on your assistance? Yep. Thank you, friend. Well then, off to Yidamar to meet with this Kankana, eh? Safe travels, and I will pray that you return with good news. I really should have done the deep stuff first. Finish that. So, Akashi is here. Well, if it isn't Teru, I wondered when you might walk through the door again. You'll be pleased to hear that Rakashi has taken to adventuring like a thief to a coin purse. Is more than capable enough to assist me on my less odorous tasks. Indeed, his future is bright. However, as much as it heartens me to see you, I sense your visit isn't entirely motivated by curiosity in our affairs, yes? I see. I did not know that Palaka's stand was beset by such troubles. But I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, all things considered. Naturally, I shall do all in my power to help. A few words to the right people, and the merchants will have a shipment of supplies ready in a manner of bells. Inform this Yizan that aid is on the way, and for much less coin than the merchants would usually charge. This chaos has gripped all of Rad's at hand, and it is only together that we shall find the strength to release ourselves from it. And if you cry an adventure, then look no further. The supplies require brave souls to defend them, correct? And I offer mine, and I will await you at the gates. Wait for me, I'm coming too. A different get up. And Kana made good on her word. No, not that I doubt she would. The merchants were likely all too eager to make such a sizable trade. They even provided us with bags and coats for the journey. And it appears Rakashi will be joining us. Try as I might convince him otherwise, his mind is made up. Hopefully this will prove to be another learning experience for him. My grandmother always did say the road forward is paved with good deeds, and 3 of us shall see that no beast lays fang or claw upon these provisions. There are more supplies to come, but they will be delivered by the Radiant Host. We shall be the vanguard, the harbinger of salvation for Palaka's stand. And with that, let us be off. This quest are alright. So far. sound like the girl one most of the two. Just because I like the growth of her character. And the whole story concept of overcoming your fear, your irrational fear. Easy. What a splendid display indeed. Your bravery never ceases to impress. I've never seen such a fierce warrior. I dare say she's every bit your equal. Children are so easily impressed. While Tataru is indeed a formidable adventurer, the teacher has many great deeds to her name, and more yet to come. Now, the village is not far. Let us march, and I challenge any monster to approach. You left the luggage behind. Hold on, you forgot the supplies. Okay. That was intended. That was was a neat little touch. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh. Did you see that? Harakashi. Mark well how quickly that beast succumbed to the flurry of blades, in no small part thanks to this brave Akasadora. Ah, so this is the adventurer that Yizan spoke of. Not since my last hunt with sister have I fought so effortlessly with another. And never I have felt so invigorated to have such a mighty Akasadora fighting by my side. How do you keep it up? Just watching you has me out of breath. Endurance is the product of long hours of practice, lad. Well then, it seems my hunt is finished. Let us return to Palakastan before we draw the attention of something deadlier. Yizan will be eager to speak with you upon your return. Do not keep him waiting for long. He's really growing accustomed to... Hey look. They're here. Look, Rakashi. Right. I understand an adventure is to attune themselves to these when their journeys bring them to new locale, but now I recall that I forgot to do so in reunion. Let us keep that between us, yes? This is my first time traveling this far. There you are. Lula told me you've bought both the supplies and the protection you promised. She is at present preparing the game she hunted. She has promised to spar with me afterward. I am fast feeling that I have made the right choice in coming here. I'm grateful for it, lass. It will do Sula good to have your energizing presence by her side. I understand that there are yet more supplies to come. I must find a way to thank the merchants and the one who spurred them into action. Kana, was it? He will spare no effort to see Radzit Han rebuilt, if there's anything else required from the merchants. Yeah. It seems we've found a reliable ally thanks to you. Oh teacher, don't forget, we should ask about the journal we found. Yes, of course. I was just about to mention it. The beast Zulan I found was holding fast to this. Perhaps you know who its owner is? By the Mansua. Yes, I do in fact know who penned this journal. They were dear friends of mine. Unfortunately, they didn't survive the tragedy that befell us. I see. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. Luckily, their memory lives on in the child. And now this journal. When she comes of age, I'll show this to her, that she might come to know who her parents were. Life is but a string of meetings and farewells. It is our memories that sustain us, that give us life. In this way, those whose journey has ended watch over those with the strength to step forward into a new day. All of the wisdom my grandmother passed down, I hold this to be the most precious of all the wisdom passed down. Precious. Memories are the greatest treasure that we can leave behind. I really like Cool Girl. Your grandmother had a way with words. She could have even taught the divinities a thing or two. I dare say you may be right, young Rakashi. I am not half so wise as she was, but her sage advice has been a beacon which has always guided me true. Truth be told, I first accompanied you here to repay the debt I owed, as grandmother would have wanted. I see now, however, that fate intended for me to be here. In Sula, I have met a comrade in arms, and in Rakashi, I have found a capable, eager student. For both of their sakes, I must strive ever to be better than the day I was before. Perhaps I should take up the art of dance. The fierce display of the Shikigami compelled me to set down my spear and take up the katana. But the grace and deadliness with which the dancers throw their weapons has a charm of its own. She's just going through all the DPS jobs. Some measure of peace has returned to the Matanga, and I believe my skills will put to better use here. An adventurer must court challenge after all. My teacher has a daring spirit, if slightly reckless, but worry not, I'll make sure she doesn't come to harm. Have you listened to a single word I have said, Rakashi? You have no notion of the dangers I must brave daily, for now you should be content to behold the great deeds and learn from them. I wager your adventures will soon take you far from here, Hero. Rest assured, I shall safeguard the people of Palaka's stand in your stead. I look forward to hearing tales of your exploits. Well then, the first order of the day is to attune to the Aetherite and gather information. Jot this lesson down, young Rakashi, for these are the fundamentals of adventuring. Come now. A lack of supplies was weighing heavily on my mind. I feared for both Paraserene and the child, but for the first time in a long while I can breathe easily. Old girl's presence has proven to be a salve on Sula's mood as well. She laughs as she hasn't since her sister's passing. We both have you to thank for our reversals of fortune. Even the departed have benefited from Ulgal's arrival. The delivery of the journal was an unexpected boon, and it will doubtless prove to be vital in raising the child. When she becomes old enough to understand its contents, she will come to know the deep love her parents bore for her. A love so steadfast that it will shield her from the world's cruelty. Of course, I intend to tell her about your part in her salvation as well. But for now, there's work to be done, for both of us, I'm sure. Wheresoever your travels may take you, don't forget the friends you have in this corner of Thavnir. And lastly, be safe. If you die before I can repay the debt I owe you, I'll hunt you through the 7 hells until the ledger's balanced. So let's see it doesn't come to that, eh? Yikes. Hippos born to... so that's the... Strike quest. One more. Okay. Finally unlocked. Right, Tataru. I was hoping to see you. Do you have a moment? Just when I thought normalcy had finally returned to us, I received word of some truly peculiar hippo sightings. Yes, hippos. A veritable herd of hippos. Hurtling down the high road, no less. How majestic. I thought that was normal for that nest. How majestic. Yes, well, though hippos have long inhabited Vanasapati, it is quite unusual to see them in such numbers outside of their natural habitat, let alone harrying travelers on the high road. Yet harried the travelers are. If these hippos have been displaced by the fires that beset the jungle during the final days, we must find them more suitable home for the sake of all concerned. I would normally ask the Radiant hosts for help in such affairs, but they already have so much on their hands, and Ulgal happens to be away. So could I ask you to look into the matter? Why, sure. Oh, thank you. You are truly a blessing. I don't know much more than what I have already told you, but I am sure others in Yildamard have spotted a hurtling hippo or two. Right quest acquired. Hurtling hippos, you say? Oh yes, I saw them barreling down the high road at tremendous speed. It was frightening just to watch. They kicked up so much dust that I couldn't get a clear look at them. But everyone on the island knows that smooth silhouette. An adorable yet fearsome creature. The hippo. Oh, that's the guy. Stealing. Yes, I've seen the hippos on a number of occasions, over by the Great Work, and this is the second time I've answered that question in as many bells. One of the refugees came by asking the very same, not moments ago. Terna, I think her name was. You're looking for the same hippos. Maybe she could help. She set off towards Perfume Rise last I saw. This about this dreadful Akasadora up north? Hitching carts to their hippos and Cinderella knows what else. If they've come down to join the other refugees, I don't doubt they'll be stirring up trouble. As if we don't have enough people leeching off our goodwill already. Huh. What are you looking at? Can't you see I'm in the middle of something here? Yeah? You're looking for the hippos? Damn, I was hoping to put paid to this before it got out of hand. Well, those hippos you're looking for should be rolling through any moment now. Just stand back and watch. Hungry hippos. Hippos, here they come. Hey, no stopping. What? Why is there fruit in the middle of the... You've done it now, you hamster heads. Maru, what did I tell you about riding this high road? Boss. Well, the roads back home ain't good for riding no more, boss. We ain't got much of a choice. Pedaling hippos are dangerous. Yeah, roading down a main road, kicking up dust storms, you're scaring people. What, you already forgot about the Tower Zot, the fires and the screaming and the people turning? You really think that raising a racket's what we need right now? In case you ain't got it through your heads yet, I'll spell it out for you. Our racing days are over. They were over yesterday, and they were over the days before that too. Hang on a minute. Racing, you say? I take it this solves your hippo mystery? Now all that's left is to apologize for these sorry sods. Here to tell me where to direct our groveling? Alright, let's have a chat with this canna. You're coming too, Maru. I left you in charge, and the one in charge takes responsibility. That's how it goes. Look at this. Doesn't look different expression the model can do. You'll be there to give your report or something, right? See you soon enough. See you soon enough. We walk together there. Oh. Now, who might these fresh faces be? I was expecting news about hippos, but perhaps you've brought back a few lost souls as well? Something like that. Terna is the name, and on behalf of my hippos and associates here, I apologize for the commotion. We're used to racing our hippo carts on less traveled paths of Vanaspati, you see. We never took much to society even before the sky started raining fire. Mostly just kept to ourselves and lived off the land. But being new to these parts is no excuse. We should have known better than to take the high road at high speed, and we're sorry for any undue distress we've caused. We ain't got much to offer, but we'll make it up to you however we can. Daphne's in a bad way. So if we're ever going to be any good for anybody, now's the time. Or at least I'd like to think I ain't got much in the way of ideas concerning how misfits like us can contribute. The crew of Akasadora are looking for purpose and speedy hippos to steer them true. Perhaps there is something Terna and her associates can contribute to recovering Daphne. Yeah. Have you ever considered delivery work? I think driving hippo carts can be incredibly useful. I was thinking more races. Delivery work? You think we could really do something like that? I mean, a hippo cart's fastest set of wheels there is, but it's an excellent idea. Local trade is on its way to recovery, and timely delivery of goods by a hippo cart can only be a boon. However, delivery work requires a great deal of trust. You're transporting someone's precious possessions up. You will not only need to learn the trade, but earn the respect of the people as well. Well, everyone starts somewhere. No need to feel intimidated. If this sounds like something you'd like to try, then why not let Tataru show you how it's done? It just so happens that a partial intended for the great work was accidentally offloaded here today, filled with medicinal herbs, Danya. So I liked it sent over as possible. Would you be a dear and deliver it with Terna? With your worldly experience, I'm sure you will serve as a shining example of professionalism. I'll entrust the parcel to you, Terna. I have no doubt you will see it safely to its destination. Sorry for taking you out of your way, Tataru, but I look forward to seeing a professional do whatever it is a professional does. I'll be waiting by the gates. Give me a shout when you're ready to go. Here we go. Ready when you are. My partner Zoe here is pulling the fastest cart on the island. I stowed the goods we're delivering under the seat, so they won't get damaged or nothing. And we ain't about to leave you high and hippoless. There's another cart just for you. Our hippos are usually shy around strangers, but you were there with the fruit earlier, so you've got nothing to worry about. They're smarter than to bite the hand that feeds. We don't let just anybody ride our carts, but if boss thinks you can handle it, no need for belly aching, Maru. We ain't racing the carts down the highway like some Hamasa heads. I know. Now off we go, slow and steady. Ride the hippo cart? Yes. Yes, please. Oh, it's self-directed one. I like the way you sit in this. That's actually a great pose. That's a great sitting pose. Oh my god. I love it. I love that. Not a bad way to travel, eh? My crew designed these carts from scratch, you know. That'd be great. Historically, we Akasadora never went around in chocobo carriages, and like at some point I got to wondering why not. Sure, we're a heavy bunch, but nothing's impossible if you put your mind to it, right? Well, after auditioning all kinds of critters, we finally came round to hippos. Hippo riding's a team effort. Our hippos can sprint with the best of them, but they ain't got a lot of stamina. So a good rider knows when to push and when to let up. See. Here we are, safe and sound. Now we hand over the goods, right? You wouldn't happen to be talking about an important package, would you? I've been expecting a delivery ship, but they neither kill nor prowl of it. Wait, aren't you the one who saved Nidhana? Ah, I see. Well, thank you both for going out of your way to bring this over. You've saved me considerable grief. No large trading vessels can dock here, you see. Usually our orders are offloaded at Al Nar and thence shipped by Dole. But they sometimes get mixed in with packages destined for Yidamad. And then the logistical nightmare begins, I'm afraid. May I check to see if you indeed have my herbs? Yes, this is it. Importing these is trying enough without delivery mishaps. I'm so relieved they made it here safely. And to think that all of that hippo hubbub was, in fact, industrious delivery work. A little frightening to watch without proper context, but you've done a marvelous job. I'll be sure to call upon your services again. That wasn't a delivery, but I guess it and he never hurt anyone. People sure do trust you, though. I got trusted just by standing next to you. And he looked so happy about his herbs, had me smiling right along with him. Maybe we really can make a difference with this delivery business. Yeah. Thanks for showing me the ropes and for doing all the talking too. I'd like to get straight back to Kankana, but from the looks of it, your hippo needs a breather. No surprise considering what it's been through lately. Here's what we'll do. I'll let the big boys rest up a bit while you go on ahead with Daria. I'm trusting you with my prized set of wheels, so be careful. No scratches or nothing. Just ride like you did coming here and there shouldn't be any problems. Just become separated from your heart. Yeah. bum, bum. Wait, I can just fly, can't I? Oh. Oh well. Scary. Hey. Yay, yay. Welcome back, Tataru. Tataru just told me all about your successful delivery. Thank you for your help, Turner. What do you think of your first job? The delivery part seems pretty straightforward, even for our ilk, but the whole building trust thing won't be easy. Still, it's not like we can give up and go home to Vanaspati. Sooner or later, we'll have to get used to living with other folks. And you should have seen how relieved the alchemist was when he got his supplies. Feels nice to know we did some good in the world. There's no greater reward for a job well done, in my experience. If you choose to continue on this path, I am certain the joy you bring will be returned to you tenfold. As this is a new endeavor for you and your associates, however, I do believe it best if someone oversees your progress. Hiru, you did so much for Ulgal that I have to ask, will you lend your aid to Terna and her associates? I know we're a right crew of misfits, Teru, but I promise you we're hard workers. Give us a chance and we'll make you proud. Starting my delivery business. Yeah, let's go. You've got spirit, kid. I'm with you. You've got spirit, kid. Thank you. I swear you won't regret this. Bum, 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 bum. Now that's settled, I think it's time you saw your new home. What? You see, I have come into possession of an old trading post that has since fallen into disuse. The structures may be a little worse for wear, but the plot itself is very conveniently located. You're free to fix it up however you'd like. You're just gonna let us use it, just like that? I will lease it to you for a small fee. That is to say, if your business fails to turn a profit, I may have to rethink the use of that space one day. But if we can talk about the we can talk about the particulars later. For now, how about you go and take a look? I've marked the location on the map. Gladly. Thanks for everything you've done for us. Let's reconvene at our new headquarters. I'll round up my people. got that here. One in that earlier past it. Little mossy. Tataru, glad you turned up. As you can see, this place ain't no mega duta. But once we get the basics up and running, it will start feeling like home in no time. We'll need a cart shed for starters, a place to store packages and whatnot. If I'm honest, boss, I'm still not sure about all this. But if you say we should give it a shot, I guess I can try. Thanks, Maru. I'm counting on you, you know. Alright, as of today, we're making our name as reliable delivery workers. We've got to learn, but don't go easy on us. Teach us everything you know. Now, we need a name for our business, something real trustworthy. Boss, we gotta fix this place up. We ain't got time to worry about names. What's wrong with our team name anyway? Our team name? You're right. We don't need to be fancy, just fast, reliable, and riding hippo carts. Hippo riders, it is. Oh, this place cleaned up fast. Boom, 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 boom. Led by the charismatic leader, Turner, the hippo riders have retired from racing and rebranded themselves as speedy delivery workers. However, they are still known on the island as local delinquents. Use your experience as an adventurer and trusted hero to help them better their reputation. Quest complete. They're supposed to rename Beast Tribe to Tribal. You've achieved friendly reputation with Hippo. Tribal quest in that. Furthermore, purchase. Apparently just that. So with that, we'll be in there. I'll be doing the actual daily stuff off stream, of course. But I'll make sure to do the actual story mission on stream. But with that, that's it. That'll be all for tonight. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed watching me play through these side stories and unlocking the Beast Tribe. Like usual, yeah, thank you, and until next time, bye bye.